had such a good time reading The Wager by David Grann. It's the most entertaining nonfiction book I've read in years, and in this video, I'm going to be making the case for why you should read it. I want you to know everything you need to know to decide whether or not you're going to pick this book up, and I'm not going to be giving anything away that happens in the middle or towards the end of the book. Once you're in it, all of the real-life people who are being discussed, they act and operate almost like characters. So it's really easy to imagine this book being adapted as a huge blockbuster film. I'm sure it's going to be here pretty soon. David Grann is the guy who wrote Killers of the Flower Moon, which was also recently adapted into an award-winning film. So, The Wager. The Wager is about a fleet of ships that set sail out of Britain at the time, and they're going after a Spanish galleon. Along the way, they get shipwrecked off the coast of Patagonia. And while I was in Patagonia in the month of March, I was reading this book. It was excellent imagination fuel just to be thinking about the sorts of things that have happened historically on the coast of the region where I was doing some trekking with some friends. In The Wager, you are going to learn a lot just about the impact of naval culture on our modern day society. So there are a lot of phrases that we use every day, like under the weather, that get casually explained along the way as David Grann is telling the story of this crew that got shipwrecked. If you're a fan of Pirates of the Caribbean, adventure stories in general, or are interested in learning more about the history of ships and trade and how the world started to come together for better or worse in the 1700s, then this is definitely the book for you. It's a #1 bestseller for a reason. This guy is very, very good at distilling a bunch of disparate historical facts into a really propulsive narrative. I think you're really going to enjoy the experience of reading this book, even if you don't read that many books per year. My personal favorite part of the story is that a lot of the characters in the book, or I guess, they were real life people, they really enjoyed reading ship logs. Ship logs were pretty entertaining for people around this time because they were reports of things that are happening around the world. So you can imagine the allure of that. If you've never even heard about like Madagascar before, you didn't know that existed, and someone has a log of how their ship got there and what they did while they were there and how they got back, that would be really entertaining, even if the prose was really dry. And so around the time that the events in the book are taking place, adventurers are starting to get better at telling these stories of the world and the things that they're seeing elsewhere. And so that layer of the story feeds in pretty nicely to the narrative that David Grann is trying to tell. He's framing his own story as if it is a very entertaining logbook. And I loved that. Like the title suggests, there is a real intensity to this narrative. The men, especially the men who get shipwrecked, are constantly battling the elements. But even before that, they're dealing with things like scurvy and crazy storms down south of the southern tip of South America. This story is about as close to a real-life version of The Lord of the Flies as it's possible to get. I hope you pick this book up and enjoy it. If you've already read it, let me know what you thought about the book in the comments. Take it easy, happy reading, and I'll see you in the next one.
This is not worth it.
Content.
I've already seen all of this.
Content creator.
Just did this for the YouTube thumbnail.